Hey guys, my name is Brian Zach and welcome back to another Session Diaries. Today's song is called Tropical Days and it's sort of a 90s funk rock. We're going to talk about the prep and the gear and the playing that went into this song to record it and make it come alive. So let's get started. A little bit of a backstory on this one. The client sent me a scratch guitar that was recorded not on the grid, so not recorded to a click. So it was really difficult to initially try to play the drums to the track because the time was sort of wavering left and right and up and down and sort of wasn't really steady. So if you've ever tried to play the drums to a song that isn't steady, you might know how difficult that actually is and how crappy that might sound, even for like a really good drummer. So what we did to fix that was we decided that we would agree on a certain tempo, and I took the form of the initial demo and wrote out a quick sketch chart telling me the form of the song, so the verse, chorus, and so on, and just how many bars were in each section. And what I did was I just recorded to the click a version of the song that I just sort of imagined in my head, just playing the groove and then filling in the appropriate spot. So let's say if the first verse was 8 bars, which I think it is, then at the end of the 8-bar verse, I would play a fill and then start the chorus and maybe play a different beat on the chorus to designate the difference between the verse and the chorus. So the idea was for me to create literally a scratch drum part and send that back to the guitar player, who could re-record his guitar parts to my scratch drum track, and so he could send it again back to me, and I could this time record a master drum take to his second scratch guitar tracks. And I should say this. If you're wondering what a scratch guitar track is or even means, basically in recording terms, a scratch track is a part that's going to be replaced. It's going to be erased, deleted, recorded over later on in the recording process. So it's just like a part that's just a placeholder for something that's going to take its place later on more permanently. Got that out of the way. So I recorded a master drum take over that second scratch guitar take and then sent it back, and then they filled out the rest of the song with more guitars and bass and vocals and what have you. Okay, so that's kind of how the whole thing came together. It's kind of like piecing together a puzzle, if you will. This type of thing happens quite a bit in the world of internet recording and remote recording and this sort of thing. I will show you the chart that I made. I call it a one chart, and that's because I'm just using number 1. Like, I'm just using ones for, instead of natural numbers, I'm using ones. Okay, so like every bar is delineated by a 1, right? So whenever I have a 1, that means 1 bar of music. So 8 bars, I'd have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And that looks like this. Okay. And you can see intro, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. All right, and I wrote some different notes, open hi-hat, closed hi-hat, and some different kick and snare parts that correspond to certain parts of the song. Okay, so It's sort of like a Nashville numbers chart. Like it sort of reads down like one, but you're not concerned with the chords or their function, major, minor, that sort of thing. It's actually a really good shorthand way of writing charts really, really, really quickly. Maybe before a show or rehearsal or whatever you might have, just to show you the skeleton form of a song. So that's the idea. Okay, and drummers can get away with this kind of thing. If you're a keyboard player or a guitar player or a bass player, a bunch of ones isn't going to help you that much. It'll tell you the form of the song, sure, how many bars there are in the song, but it's not going to tell you what you need to know to play your instrument. And not that this does either, but this at least tells me where the phrases begin and end and how to shape the song in a certain way. So actually, it's very helpful in that respect. So those of you drummers out there who don't have a good ear, you're not used to, being able to tell the 6 minor chord from the 2 minor chord, or from the 5 chord from the 4 chord, and so on, or the flat 7. Um, if you're still just working on your ear to figure those things out, this is a great alternative. Just write ones for every bar, and at least you have, on one sheet of paper, you have the outline of the whole song. Okay, so just wanted to impart that to you guys. Gear. And I'm going to sort of lump the gear in with the playing on this one. To start with, where the song is sort of like a Red Hot Chili Peppers, like Chad Smith kind of vibe going on. Chad Smith is a drummer for Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I was looking for that snare tone that he gets, especially in the song called "Give It Away Now" by the Chili Peppers, right? Because the client asked for like sort of a big fill that comes in with the song, and then later on in the song there's a breakdown and the drums bring back the band in, and he wanted like a big fill that sort of like stood out from the rest of that. So pretty similar to the Chili Peppers "Give It Away Now" with that snare drum fill that's just like ba 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 right. So we're going for that like vibe. Okay, so the snare drum that I chose to make this track work and stand out was it's a Yamaha brass piccolo 3.5 by 14. I've had this drum for a few years now, and it's great drum. And I know the whole piccolo thing kind of has a stigma to it, especially these days. Sort of the antithesis of like what's going on in the radio world, if you will. But doing tracks like this, like library tracks, having a piccolo snare in your arsenal can be really, really useful. And so here we are. So that was the first thing that I really thought would help nail the sound of this. Cymbals, I chose to go with brighter sounding crash cymbals, so I'm using a 17, a 20 inch, and a 19 in that order. And exist Agop crashes, 20 inch medium ride, 14 inch hi-hats, and way over on my right side I'm using a 20 inch China, which I don't even know if I hit the China in this take of the song. Maybe in previous takes I think I did, but I can't remember. But anyway, it's there. It has sort of a grungy vibe to it. It looks nice. Yeah, like I said, part of the playing, it's kind of like a 90s funk rock, it's got the snare tone, the big drum fills, and just going for that Chad Smith, that kind of thing. Kind of loosey-goosey hats on at least the choruses, and but kind of funking it up a bit. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you all on the next one.
a tropical stays, a tropical craze. I'm feeling tropical, so tropical. I'm feeling tropical, tropical days. We all get crazy when we trapped inside. No room to run, no place to hide. Don't know why we always cry. Take the wrong pill to the other side. But we didn't change, no looking back. Searching for something that would clear the path. Don't know what the neighbors say, but I'm getting really crazy in every way. Tropical days, tropical waves, tropical stays, tropical craze. I'm feeling tropical, so tropical. I'm feeling tropical, tropical days. Summertime, feeling fine. Never go back to the starting line. Brand new golden energies. A room is spinning with synergy. Funk is pumping, vibe is high. Get back on the train, it's party time. Don't know why, but I know the truth. Slay the dragon, don't stop too soon. Yeah, don't stop too soon, man. You gotta keep on playing, keep on slaying the dragon through the hard times. But people are getting it in your face. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh. Yeah, you gotta get that tropical funk. Take it down someplace. You gotta get down to the tropical life. Latitude, vibe is nice. Houses dressed in orange clouds. Magical rays liquidate through the town. Denizens look out at the sounds, colliding with hooks all around, all around. Looking up a future time, we gotta change, be divine. Dust movie antiquity, afloat above liquidity. Honesty, philosophy, society, simplicity. Sitting under that willow tree, I ponder the way to see. Tropical days, tropical waves, tropical stays, tropical haze. I'm feeling tropical, so tropical. I'm feeling tropical.